Hello, what's up guys, I'm Kyle from KGR, and the SH Figuarts Mario line is getting re-released, and to be honest, I'm kinda mixed on it. Originally, I was gonna do a video just reminiscing on these guys, because it reminds me of a simpler time, not only in my life, but also as a toy collector. So when they announced on Instagram shortly after that they were going to re-release them, I was flabbergasted because it felt like I spawned it into existence. But because of me working on other videos, having real life obligations, as well as working a full-time job, I couldn't make the video immediately, which I'm thankful I didn't, because more information came out, and now we have a well-informed video, so thank God for terrible time management. But before I get into why I'm so mixed on them re-releasing these guys, let me get into why I wanted to originally reminisce on these guys. Before these guys released, it was a much different time in Japanese toy collecting. It was, I don't want to say in its infancy, but it was definitely like just starting to get popular. With releases like the Nendoroid Sonic, the Figma Skyward Sword Link, or the Figma Other M Samus, or even the D-Arts Pokemon or Mega Man, or the list can go on. Because of action figures like that, a lot of us toy collectors and video game toy collectors were very interested, because we're so used to buying figures from like Toys R Us, KB Toys, wherever, spending like $5 to $10 or so. So even though these figures costed a lot more money, like $50 or so, we were like, ugh, that's a lot. But when we got our hands on them, we were so blown away, because not only did we get figures for these guys for the first time in a long time, but they're actually really good. So we were sold. We wanted more of these kind of figures. And these companies definitely saw that and took advantage by making US versions of online shops so they can make it easier to order them. They also threw a good chunk of them at retail at like Toys R Us, GameStop, Target, or even Barnes & Nobles. But when it just started getting popular, it was still what felt like in its infancy. Not every franchise got a figure release. Even through games or anime, it was very scarce, I should say. Like, the Naruto Figuarts line didn't start until years after Naruto Shippuden even released. It was just, hey, they finally made it. And it was kind of a celebration that, oh, they're finally getting good figures. It was really exciting at the time. It wasn't like how it is nowadays, saying like, if you want a Spider-Man figure, not only do you have like at least 5 different companies making Spider-Man figures, but each company makes so many iterations of Spider-Man that you have a lot of variety to work with. While during this time, if you wanted a Link Figma, there was only one option. For a Figma Samus, only one option. It'd be pretty lucky to have one character get figures from 2 different companies. It was definitely a much different time. So whenever a new figure line was announced, it was a celebration. So when Mr. Video Game himself was getting an SH Figuarts, it was really exciting. At first I was thinking, why was it not in a D-Arts line? Because, you know, digital arts. But I guess when they decided that they were getting popular, they just merged D-Arts with Figuarts just to simplify it, and that makes sense, so that's fine. But anyway, Mario, Mr. Video Game himself, was getting a premium action figure from Japan. Cause sure, during this time, we had other Mario figures. We had the World of Nintendo line that was currently available at the time, but in the past we had stuff from Popco that you couldn't pose. We had the Toy Biz Mario from Mario Kart 64. We even had the Wendy's Kids Meal toy that was a lot better than we expected. It was pretty cool. But what also made these figures very appealing was their price tag. If you imported these guys directly from Japan, they were like $25. But I think in retail they're about like 30 or 35. And most other figures are about like 50, 60 bucks. So in comparison, this is such an appealing, like, approachable figure, very affordable. And it was kind of like the first time we kind of saw approachable action figures like that from these Japanese companies. But what made this Mario so special was not just the fact that he just looks overall so good, but the diorama sets made him very special, because you can bring a level to life. You can really set up a diorama with these different accessories as well as Mario. And I'll go as far to say that these are still hands down some of the best looking Mario figures out there. These things look phenomenal. Aesthetically, these age like fine wine. I love these figures so much. But after these released, and consumers got their hands on it, as well as critics, that's when we were starting to see some of the cracks in I don't know. We saw flaws with the figures. For example, Mario and Luigi, they can't move their shoulders up all that high. So if you wanted to do the Smash Brothers Wii U Mario render, you couldn't do that. Mario had a hard time turning his head well. Yoshi has one open hand, his other open hand just has an egg trapped onto it. You can't take it off. And Bowser was way too small for how expensive he is. Or I should say was. Because I think he was like a $60 figure at the time. It was stupid. So assumably, because of Bowser not selling well because of being so expensive, they canned the Mario Figuarts line. And I heard that they were supposed to be making a Bowser Jr. figure, and there was like a unpainted prototype within Tamahii Nations that never got released to the wild, like picture-wise. Some insider told me many years ago, so I wish I still had that picture. So now that these figures are being re-released, you would think I'd be happy because these figures look so good. And I should also be happy that I don't have to re-buy new figures. Like, they're literally the exact same figures. We're getting Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Bowser re-released. We're also getting one accessory kit that comes with different pipes, but only the green, not the red. And a lot of the baddies that I have hiding around here, they're not going to be included in that either, at least not yet. So, a part of me hopes that maybe one day we can get some more figures. Maybe we will get that Bowser Jr. Maybe we will get a Toad or a Peach. We don't know. But the reason why I'm really mixed is, as much as I love these, I can't help but to wonder what a new version of these figures could look like. Because these figures came out over a decade ago. And I don't like thinking about that because that hurts. Like, that makes my back hurt just thinking about that. And although I love the design of these, SH Figuarts has advanced so much in their engineering that we could have a much better Mario. And not only that, but Nintendo also really refreshed the look of Mario character models. Look at releases like Mario Odyssey. Look at Luigi's Mansion 3. Look at even the Mario parties now. We have a Mario model that you can see the stitching in the denim. You can see the buttons in the overalls. You can see the stitching that makes up the emblem in Mario and Luigi's hats. We see a lot more detail on these figures now. So why don't we get a high-end premium figure of these character models? One person can say maybe they were just too lazy. And maybe they were. But another part of me can't help but to wonder, maybe, just maybe, they tried. But they couldn't get the figure to look aesthetically pleasing as well as they did with the Mario. Or maybe it was just too close in design and it just didn't really see much of improvements. We don't know. I don't know what happens behind the scenes. But I think it's a good idea to release these figures. Because when these guys first released, sure, it was when Japanese action figures was just starting to get popular. Sounds like a good idea. However, during this time, Nintendo's popularity wasn't as high as it is now. It was still Nintendo, they were still popular, but they were also releasing them during the Wii U era and the 3DS era. So Nintendo's reputation and popularity were not as high in comparison to how successful the Switch is. So now that we have the success of the Switch, we have the success of the Mario movie franchise that's going to be happening now, I guess. The Universal theme parks. Now the controversial Switch 2. Point is, Nintendo is in a much higher spotlight now in comparison to how they were over 10 years ago. And also, think about the nostalgia of even these figures in general. There could have been young adults that collected these figures and maybe had to get rid of them, or maybe they were kids that had them, or maybe they didn't have them because they saw them in stuff like stop motions on YouTube, and maybe they don't have them anymore or something. And then they see they're coming back and they're affordable again because these figures are still what? If you import them from Japan, between like 25, I think Yoshi's 33, and then Bowser's like 40 something. Big Bad Toy Store has some wild prices on these guys. So the kids who are probably what, at least 10 years old or so, maybe a little bit older, looking at these like from back then, like during stop motions, are now full-grown adults that have jobs, hopefully, with paychecks, hopefully. So now they can afford to collect these figures again and not have to pay premium prices. And they even redid Mario's bundle, because originally it was just the fists. If you wanted the open hands, you had to buy an accessory kit. But now he does come with both hands, so he's all good. I know Yoshi and Bowser's bundles are the same. I can't remember if Luigi's bundles are the same. But they now come with new bases, so it comes with like a Mario base, a Luigi base, so on and so forth. And I'm kind of mixed on that, because as cool as that looks on paper, like, I like the idea of having a bunch of like the same color green bases, so it can look like it's being made into a level, you know? So I'm mixed on that myself. But at the end of the day, these are cool. I love these. Personally, I love how these look compared to these. Oops. Gotta be a little careful not to hit the desk when I'm filming a video. I think we're good. Anyway, I like how these look compared to the Jack Pacific figures. And since they're getting re-released, I might buy another Mario just to have one on the desk, because why not? If they re-release a Fire Mario, because as of right now they're not, if they are, I might buy another one, because living in a smoker home and he's very white, he gets cigarette stained very easy through the air, so gotta get a new figure. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But I think as these figures are approaching their re-release, I kind of want to do a video, like, re-reviewing each one. Because I haven't reviewed these figures in over 10 years. So it would be fun to just redo it. Why not? But yeah, I can't help but to, like, reminisce on these figures. It was such a special time when these figures first released. Because if you look at my collection now, like, it's definitely gotten a lot bigger since I originally started collecting. And now we're at a point where I have to start considering either putting figures in storage or have to slow down on collecting. Because sometimes, now that I've been doing this for over 10 years, there'll be releases that come out and I'm like, am I really excited for this, or am I doing it just to complete a collection? Because the My Hero line, I'm only doing to complete the collection. I'm starting to lose love for My Hero now. The Naruto line, I get a little excited. I'm not like super eager. It's not my most anticipated figures of the year, but I'm like, hey, I like that character. I'm excited to get a figure of that. Why not? But I would have some friends ask me, what figure are you looking forward to the most this year? And I'm like, to be honest, I don't know. I look at who I pre-ordered and I'm like, I guess the Figuarts Yugi, but even then there's things I don't like about it from what I can see in the prototype. Like, it's not me highly anticipating these figures anymore. I don't know if it's just because of me getting older and doing this for as long as I have, or maybe it's just starting to get a little stale now. I'm excited to see what they do with the Mario Figuarts line. I would love to expand that for sure. I would love to see something like an SH Figuarts or a Figma Sonic. But when I first started collecting these and was getting these figures, I was a lot happier about toy collecting. And nowadays it's just getting overwhelming because I'm running out of space. But let me know in the comments, how do you feel about the Mario SH Figuarts line being re-released? Are you excited they're being re-released, or would you have rather see them just create new figures? I'm excited to see what you have to say. But also let me know, should I re-review these guys? And even their accessory kits, because why not? But anyway, thank you for watching. If you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. The description's gonna have my link tree if you want to follow me on anything. In the past, during COVID, I did some photo shoots with the Mario Figuarts figures. So if you want to dig through my Instagram and look at those, you might enjoy them. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you guys to death. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace, peace.